Welcome to Eureka Street Crypto. This is my anti-professional crypto channel. I'm just a barely sane dude who fell down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole. This channel is my fumbling attempt to communicate myself outside my own head about my journey in the crypto space. It is basically my brain dump. None of this is actual financial advice. Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting live from Leander, Texas, and it is January 2nd, Sunday, 2022, at 7:37 in the morning. I'm broadcasting a little late today. Just felt like a wet dog waking up today. Just kind of been waking up super early for all week, and finally it caught up with me, and I was laying there, I was like, oh my god, I don't have to do anything today. I was gonna have a show today with a guest who's from Romania, but he ended up taking a night train home and asked if we could do the interview tomorrow, so that is postponed till tomorrow. And so I was like, man, I don't have anybody to interview, and so I'm just gonna sleep in a little bit. So I did. So yeah, here I am, as you can tell. So this is my morning video show, video blog, crypto show, whatever, brain dump, and I talk about crypto and something I learned about crypto every single day. And yeah, come on and just dump it out onto you. And I try to articulate what I've learned in my head, because I believe when you learn something, you read articles, you listen to podcasts, you watch videos, whatever, you read books, and then you absorb it in your brain. But the other half of the learning process is to actually try to regurgitate it and make it communicatable. And sometimes when you think you know something, then you actually try to talk about it, it comes out as just complete crap, and I do that all the time, and I do it here on this show, and I do it purposefully so everybody can see that we are all learning in this space, that nobody's figured it out yet. This is all new territory, and we are all going west, and it's not for everybody, right, as they say in Bankless. But if you're going west, you're a part of it, and you're a part of this crypto space and helping to trailblaze and to figure out the rules as we go along, because there are no real rules set into place for all this stuff. And for those people that don't really thrive in environments without some kind of set rules and structures in place, well, this might not be for you. But for me, it is. I do thrive in that type of environment. So anyway, let's take a look at the crypto market. Oh, I'm not sponsored by anybody, not shilling anything. I do talk about some projects that I like and maybe some things that I hold. In a lot of cases, things that I hold. But yeah, do your own research. Something I might hold one day, then I might ditch the next day when I discover that it's a completely lame project, or I'm just not interested in it anymore. So that's how it goes in crypto, right? All right. So let's take a quick look at the CoinGecko and see where we are today. So let me refresh this page here. Looks like we do have some green in the past 24 hours. Again, I'm not like Mr. Technical Analysis guy. So I'm not going to sit here and try to read charts for you, that's for sure. So Bitcoin's at $47,260.64. Ethereum's at $3,753.43. Binance 524.13, Solana 176.05, Cardano 136, XRP 84 cents, Terra 89.48, Polkadot at number 10 29.18, with Avalanche, Dogecoin, Sheebs, and Polygon, and then Crypto.com, the next 5, sniffing out the top 10. Honestly, I think Polygon and Avalanche should be up there, replacing. This is just my opinion, man, but they should take out XRP and Cardano, honestly. Yeah, like I said, I'm just a dude behind a computer. I have no authority in any of this. I don't think anybody really does. No matter how professional and some kind of big finance firm they may say they're from, nobody knows what's going on. Everybody thought, the chart said, if you're following Plan B and all that other stuff, the stock to flow chart, everything said that Bitcoin at the end of December 31st was going to be at 75,000 dollars. And you know what? It wasn't. And nobody could sit there and have predicted that. And there probably is one or two people, being like, yeah, I told you, but they're lucky, right? And yeah, so there's always a couple kooky people out there. I'm probably one of those kooky people, so I don't know. So anyway, let's see here. Where was I going? Oh, let me take a look at my old Twitter. I get a lot of my information on Twitter. But there's some good stuff on crypto Twitter. Just as long as you don't get yourself like locked up in some kind of echo chamber, and that happens really easily. Like say for instance, XRP Army, right? And then they all start talking to each other in chat rooms or whatever. Then they all start adding each other. And then they're all like giving each other this like total hopium and hype about how amazing XRP is. And the next thing you know, your feed is full of nothing but just XRP hype and love and stuff like that. And then you don't get any type of reality check about XRP. And the internet is full of echo chambers, And so you got to watch out for that stuff. Really expand out beyond your boundaries. That's why tomorrow I'm interviewing Vlad from Vlad Kostea. He's a Bitcoin maxi, like. He's going to tell me basically how stupid Ethereum is and all this other stuff. And I like Ethereum. And I'm going to sit there and listen to him. I want to hear what he has to say about it to get out of my constant, Ethereum hopium that I tell myself all the time. Which, yeah, I do. But at the same time, everything that Ethereum generally stands for and a lot, I like, and I like a lot of the developments being built on top of Ethereum and stuff like that. So, but it's important to step out of that echo chamber and hear other perspectives on it to maybe kind of reevaluate why you think the way you do, and you might be able to tweak or alter. I don't think he's going to convince me that, Ethereum sucks, but he might, cast some doubt on some of my ideas, which I think is healthy and good. So, yeah. All right, so here's a thread here, 10 predictions on Web3 in 2022. I don't know who Ian is, but he's a co-founder of Syndicate DAO and venture partner, plus co-founder of IDEO VC and IDEO, ex-head of crypto, so, all right, whatever, and a designer and Solidity dev. But I thought these 10 predictions on Web3 in 2022 are pretty good. Notice I'm saying Web3 and not crypto because that was one of my biggest things about jumping into the crypto space originally, like back in 2018, and then even as late as 2020, is kind of being labeled as one of those crypto people, and it's this whole idea of labeling, and at some point you just have to be like, you know what, no, this is actually what I believe. And then the more I started learning about like Bitcoin and the financial system and what is money, Robert Breedlove helped out with that. And then when I learned about DeFi, and finally, I was like, you know what? I am one of those crypto people. Like it goes well beyond just some, goofy person trying to, multi-level market you into something, a chain letter you into something, a Ponzi scheme you into something. This is like a complete reinvention of web technology in the financial space as we know it. This is empowering people with their own finances again, so this is decentralizing the financial infrastructure and the web technology infrastructure that has gotten so centralized. The financial system, over the centuries, and the web technology sector over the past decade through all these centralized platforms, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But here, let's see his 10 predictions on Web3 in 2022. So yeah, Web3 breaks those Web2 centralization that happened at warp speed in comparison to the entire financial system as a whole that happened over centuries. All right, so one, Bitcoin breaks 100,000. That's his first prediction. ETH breaks all-time high. Okay, so what is it? ETH like 4,500, somewhere around there. Is ETH's all-time high? I could go look it up, but I don't feel like it. But in 2022, will be the year of the alt in terms of returns as the Web3 narrative gains significant traction and true believers. And he posted this in December, just a few days ago, actually. 2013, Bitcoin is a scam. 2015, blockchains are a scam. 2016, crypto is a scam. 2017, tokens are a scam. 2017 again, DAOs are a scam. 2018, NFTs are a scam. 2019, DeFi is a scam. 2021, Web3 is a scam. Okay, yeah, keep telling yourself that it's a scam. There's a Hold on, let me see if I can find this real quick. There's an old video that talked about when the internet first started up, and it was an interview, and it's freaking hilarious. And and just it just shows how dated a lot of people's beliefs about like the blockchain and Bitcoin and all that stuff. How it's not going to age well, and yeah, just this whole idea of change, and then these new adopters and people sitting there saying, uh, just questioning new things that come in, and people calling the early adopters of such new technology kooks, and yeah. So here's a little clip. Let me rewind this to the very beginning. All right, let me turn on the volume. So you can just, all right.
Well, Allison should know. What do you
is
say about
internet
Allison?
anyway?
Internet is that massive computer network, the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
No, she can't say anything in 10 seconds or less.
Oh, Allison will be in the studio shortly. What does it mean?
It's a giant computer network made up of started from.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what this was.
It's like a computer billboard.
It's a computer billboard, but it's nationwide, and it's several universities and everything all joined together.
And others can access it.
And it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
It came in really handy during the quake. A lot of people, that's how they were communicating out to tell family and loved ones they were okay, because all the phone lines were down.
I was telling Katie,
But you don't need that. You don't need a phone line to operate internet. No.
So yeah,
well, Allison should know. What do you
is
say about
internet
Allison?
anyway?
All right, so let's go back up here to the top and get back to that tweet that I was at on the 10 Web3 developments. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of how people thought about the internet back in the 90s. And actually, they're talking about the quake, which I believe that they're talking about the 1987 earthquake, or is it 88 or something like that, in San Francisco during the World Series. And I actually remember that. I was in like 6th grade or something. And yeah, and they were talking about how people communicated, and it was a new innovative way to communicate. And yes, it was a terrible disaster, that earthquake, but what it did is it showed a use case. Something bad happened and turned into something good. And I wonder if the same thing, and into that type of decentralized way of communicating, I wonder if something like that is going to happen with blockchain at some point. I don't know. But anyway, it's just this whole idea of new people pigeonholing new adopters of technologies, calling them kooks and stuff like that, and then people afraid to jump into that label until everybody else does. It's kind of a chicken and egg type of thing. All right, so number 2, DeFi, especially NFT and DAO protocols, get commoditized and fees race to zero. Value moves up the stack to the social layer. New Web3 projects combine DeFi, NFTs, and DAOs together and artwork together and work together. So new Web3 projects combine DeFi, NFTs, and DAOs together and work together. And I can already see that right now with DeFi Kingdoms. Yeah, it's on Avalanche, and it's on Harmony blockchain and Avalanche. But there's other types of play to earn type of games and stuff like that, with DAOs focused around them, and then their own dexes. Like for instance, in DeFi Kingdoms, the dex in that marketplace is like one of the main dexes, the DeFi exchanges of the entire Harmony blockchain, built into a game. So it's totally crazy the way all this is developing, and I believe that's one of the very first types of projects that's really doing that, and it's going to expand outwards definitely throughout the year. So social tokens become bigger than governance tokens as a construct as well, and that's another whole other rabbit hole to go down, is the social tokens. If you want to take a look at the very start of that, go to Friends with Benefits DAOs and take a look at those social tokens and social DAOs. Number 3, DeFi grows disproportionately on Cosmos-based chains like Terra. Consumer apps grow disproportionately on Solana. Business-to-business and business-to-business to consumer chains emerge. And then Ethereum still dominates as its intangible social network emerges into tangible social layers and graphs. That's a whole head full of stuff right there in one point. I will comment, I guess, on the Ethereum still dominates. So they're not saying that any of these are going to be Ethereum killers. I don't think any of these other blockchains are going to be Ethereum killers. I think everything's going to kind of jump into their own little sectors and segments. Ethereum, go to CyberConnect. I just signed up for that yesterday. And let's see here. CyberConnect right here. Go follow me here. I do believe they're going to be doing an NFT drop for people who have 5 followers and are verified on their Twitter. But this is, one example of that, using the social graph and kind of building out a social graph in a decentralized way. I talked yesterday about whether or not that's going to be, or day before yesterday, whether or not that's going to be good or bad. But it can be good or bad, utopia or dystopia. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops. Either way, I want to educate myself about both sides of it. And then number 4, many NFT projects collaborate, consolidate, and aggregate around PFP, profile pic, and PFT profile token NFTs. PF profile tokens become big in 2022. I need to actually educate myself a little bit on what profile tokens are. I know what PFPs are, and there are a lot of profile pic type of NFTs that have ramped up. I mean, look at CryptoPunks, for instance, and Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. And it's probably going to be taking up a whole other notch with the profile token NFTs. And I need to really figure out and put my finger on that one here. 5, DAOs everywhere. It'll feel like there are more DAOs than NFTs or protocols. Yeah, 2022 will be the year of the DAOs. I totally believe that. DAOs 2.0. It'll be the DAOs moment, like DeFi in 2020 and NFTs in 2021. Everyone will rush into high noise to signal ratio, and everything will try to be turned into a DAO. I mean, I'm a member of DAOists, right? And then at ETH Denver, I'm going to be a part of the entire DAOist team for DAO Denver. This kind of it's a side conference of ETH Denver, and there's a lot of hype, and we've already garnered tons of interest for people wanting to participate in this DAO Denver conference. And I don't see that there's been tons of money spent on marketing and hype and it's just organically, all this interest has just jumped into DAOs and then DAOists, and then DAOists being a resource for how to build a DAO. And then right here you go to DAOists with plural, because there's a DAOist out there as well. But here's DAOists.xyz, and they are. I'm one of the contributors to this DAO right here, and they are kind of a meta DAO, a DAO of DAOs. Unlock your potential within decentralized autonomous organizations. They're a great resource here to figure out what about DAOs, how to build DAOs. Just all about DAOs. So yeah. But this is just the beginning, and I'm already seeing just like a mushroom cloud of interest, just through the DAOists here. And I can only imagine what 2022 is going to bring. And then number 6, what is a DAO? What is not a DAO? What should be a DAO? People will be confused. DAOs enter a hype cycle and then the trough of disillusionment. So we'll probably see that. But several important DAO archetypes take root and emerge as new models that revolutionize numerous industries. So the DAO space will kind of settle itself out. There will be a hype cycle. Everybody will be calling themselves DAOs. Just like everything right now is calling themselves an NFT project. Just like all the fruit and vegetable tokens and everything from 2020, all the sushi and all the dog and all the meme coins. Once one, like for instance, Urine Finance came around and the yams, and then there's just all these food tokens that followed suit in the DeFi hype cycle of 2020. And then you had Dogecoin get a bunch of hype, then all these other dog coins followed suit. So that this same thing is going to happen with DAOs. You had CryptoPunks, NFTs gain popularity. Now you have a freaking punk on every single damn blockchain out there. So it's gonna happen with DAOs too, and I'm gonna be interested to see what happens. So he says in a little subtweet here, responding to his own tweet, DAOs will be one of the most exciting and transformational technologies to emerge from Web3 because they are 1,000x improvement on how financial and human capital can come together, coordinate, and accomplish incredible things natively on the internet in a peer-to-peer way. Absolutely true. Number 7, Web3 and Web2 tech starts to blend as specific parts and layers of a given product are built on both Web3 and Web2 tech. Web3 is more about economic ownership access and composability models, but more Web3 products will have Web2 services. In fact, they must to win. So, Yeah, that's kind of an interesting concept. This whole kind of fusion of Web3 and Web2 tech. I'm not really sure what that looks like, but here, blockchains equals Web3 servers plus databases. Smart contracts equals Web3 apps. Public keys, Web3 usernames. Private keys, Web3 passwords. Tokens, Web3 platform assets. Tokenomics, Web3 business models. X2E, Web3 user acquisition models. I don't know what X2E is. I'm sorry. NFTs, Web3 media assets, and DAO Web3 social networks. And then, one example of those Web3 social networks I just pulled up here is that CyberConnect. Yeah, right here. And here's my profile. That took my wallet address. It took my ENS name, and it's displaying all my NFTs. It lets me put in. It has some Galaxy credentials about liquidity, providing liquidity on Polygon, and an OpenSea transaction taker. Let's see, it shows my profile on OpenSea, Rarible Foundation. So yeah, it allows people to comment on it, but it's not really associated with any one particular platform. So yeah, it's kind of interesting there. So let's see where else we're going. Many governance tokens are considered securities. Innovation and decentralization design pushes into NFTs, social tokens, and membership tokens. Governance is separated from community membership, and projects create multiple fit for purpose tokens. So that's kind of interesting. He references the past tweet predictions on tokens and DAOs. Current governance tokens are trying to bake too much into a single token. True. Every DAO in the future will have multiple tokens, at least 3. A DAO or protocol NFTs and social tokens will be more valuable than its governance tokens in the future. Yeah, and I already see this starting in just some layer 1 blockchains. For instance, Theta token has its they have their T-Fuel token, which is a utility token. Then they have their Theta token, which is the governance token. VeChain has done this with VThor and the VeChain token. Zilliqa has done this with the GZIL and then the Zilliqa token. The differentiation between utility tokens and governance tokens, and then now throw a social token into the mix, and you have 3 tokens right there. So yeah, hold on 1 second. All right, I had to shut the blind because the sun was just pow. It's right that time in the morning. I'm usually doing this before the sun's up. So it says here on a note so notable senior executives from Web2 leave for Web3 startups, in a few cases as open source contributors to decentralized protocols with no company. This is really interesting. So a bunch of Web2 CEOs, maybe Facebook, now maybe Twitter, who knows, right? Maybe Google, maybe yeah. The senior execs will be leaving for Web3 startups as open source contributors to decentralized protocol with no company, as a member of a DAO. And I'm considering, and actually I'm going to be putting in my notice and leaving my centralized company to go work in DAOs. And it's a huge undertaking. It's scary because I am a family man. I got kids, I got a wife, and would depend on the health insurance and the paycheck and everything like that. But I want to go do DAO work, and I see that there's enormous profit potential in there, but it's also just something that I really enjoy doing. I love the mission and purpose behind it, and yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, man, and I think it's gonna work. So far, yeah, it's a big step, for sure, especially like you saw that video I just played, back in like 1988 or something, that was recorded, them talking about the birth of the internet. It's still people are unsure about it, Anyway, he references his past tweet. So notable senior execs from Web2 will leave for Web3 startups, right? Web3 is a user-owned internet. The world wants and now needs this, all right? Crypto and NFTs are digital assets that enable Web3 to be user-owned. Smart contracts are Web3 software applications that are user-owned. Blockchain is the tech that enables crypto, NFT, and smart contracts. And then number 10, big Web2 companies, particularly in tech, will announce that they have a Web3 strategy, are becoming a Web3 company, and launch a Web3 business. But almost all will fail because their centralized Web2 business model and shareholder structure. I think Meta, Facebook is going to fail, because there are Web3 platforms that are natively Web3 that are doing this 100% better. Facebook was built as a Web2 centralized, top-down type of company. I just think it's too big to try to move and to change it to a Web3 type of company. It's not going to happen. LinkedIn, I think, is another one. They're going to try to integrate this whole like NFT thing. I don't have any evidence for this. I just think they're going to try to, get hip, and it's not going to happen. There's no way that you can build Web3 into LinkedIn as it currently is, as a structure, as a company, as a Web2 platform. So, yeah, like I said, almost all will fail because there's centralized Web2 business model and shareholder structure. Exactly. You have to answer to shareholders, and they're not going to like that, just like that non-fungible Olive Garden I talked about yesterday. I feel sorry for the lawyers who have to go and sit there and try to explain blockchain and NFTs to these old curmudgeony, people at Darden restaurants who are so ingrained in their their corporate structure, answering to shareholders and everything like that, that they can't see the opportunity that they have with all this free publicity and marketing being given to them. So Ian here references the past tweet from November 9th. The main reason Web2 companies won't be able to compete against Web3 startups in the long run is because that the tech enables a fundamentally different and therefore disruptive business model. Web2 companies will build on the tech, but they won't disrupt. Web2 companies will build on the tech, but they won't disrupt their core business models. Exactly. And so, you have non-fungible Olive Garden tokens, building out a Web3 structure for Olive Garden to kind of create an NFT culture around their company. And those curmudgeony old people are not going to do it because they do not see the opportunity, because it disrupts their core business model. Anyway, so yeah, that being said, this whole idea of platforms and stuff like that brings me to one last final point. There is a free NFT to be minted right now, and it's on Zora protocol, and Zora is an NFT marketplace, right? And already we're starting to see, in things like OpenSea and Rarible and stuff like that, the foundations being shaken as because they are platforms, right? And there's new platforms, NFT marketplace coming in called Zora, which is basically saying that the OpenSea, Rarible, Super Rare, and stuff like that, that those marketplaces are basically following the Web2 structure, in that they are, owning all the functionalities of what the protocol should do, but they're putting those functionalities in the application layer, and they're taking fees, and they're basically becoming the same Web2 style middlemen that all the record companies and Spotify and SoundCloud and everything like that has done, therefore cutting the artists out once again of all the major opportunity and benefits and profit that can come from their art. So let's see here. Let's go to Zora.co. Hold on one second here. Let's see here. Competition is increasing for OpenSea with FTX US, Zora, and Zora in the ring. So, let's see here. Where was it? No, that's a pro OpenSea one. So let's see here. What is NFT marketplace? OpenSea, Zora, Rarible, Foundation, Super Rare, and Nifty Gateway. It just explains what NFTs are. I don't really feel like going and explaining the basics of NFTs right now. So okay, crypto-driven marketplace Zora raises $2 million to build a sustainable creator economy. So let's see here. That's not exactly where I wanted to go. I need to go to the Zora manifesto here. I want to read that. Zora is basically, they are building an open source platform for NFTs. So the differentiation between that is OpenSea, they are not open source. They own all the tools for you to be able to create and build your NFTs. Where Zora is completely 100% open source, anybody can use the Zora development kit and create their own NFT auction and marketplace. You can't do that with OpenSea and Rarible. All right, so I'm connecting into Zora here, and as you can see, there's a Zora marketplace. I'm trying to find the damn mission, and let's see here. Zora docs, NFT dictionary. Let's see here. Okay, so your connected wallet, build a permissionless, use Zora. Yeah, see, the thing is, it's a typical open source project. It's really hard to find, all the marketing, stuff around it. All right, so Zora, intro to the Zora protocol. Platforms are everywhere. Platforms are powerful. Platforms are bad. And then this is a good interview. A Zoom call with one of the main people, the developers of Zora here. Let's see where this puts me. Oh man, I'm explaining this so bad. But anyway, right now you can mint a Zora orb for a few more hours, and to commemorate your support of the Zora platform. But it allows you to build your own NFT marketplaces on ERC 721 tokens, and allows the artist and the creator to have more control over their own minting and the reselling of their NFTs. All that stuff is baked in and able to be tailored by the artists themselves. And then Zora protocol does not take fees, and sellers fees and listing fees and all this other type of stuff. And all those middlemen that kind of get lumped in there. So yeah, I mean, I'm explaining this terribly, but I just found it interesting. Yet another, see, every time that there's a push towards centralization, a counter push towards decentralization happens. And then here's the Zora marketplace right here. And somebody puts out there the tools to build some kind of decentralized type of platform, to be able to let everybody cut out the middlemen and to be able to take the profits themselves, and to be able to generate the benefits that their own creativity spawns, right? So let's see here. I can't find their damn manifesto. Here it is, manifesto. All right. So let's go to their manifesto, and as you can see, there's some pretty good art on here. That the non-fungible Olive Garden tokens project is on Zora as well. So they thought they could own us, the platform that hold our audiences and content hostage, the labels that lock down our rights, the galleries that hold our art ransom, the big brands that think exposure is cash. They have a monopoly on ownership, a monopoly on creativity, and they have been robbing us of the value we create for as long as there's been a creative industry. The deals we were cut in advance and we got cut out. The big brands, suits, and monopoly men own the revenue, the rights, the files, the email addresses. What's left for the creator? What's left for the fan? We bring meaning. We bring value. We're what people believe in. What's Louis Vuitton without Virgil? UMG without Taylor Swift? I don't know. NBA without LeBron? Well, there's a lot to NBA without LeBron. But Adidas without Yeezy? What's Instagram without you? We bring the noise, and it's time to take it somewhere owned by all of us. The current system is effed, and we want out. We see the value we create, and we want our piece of it, and not just a little bit. We want to win together. We want to build together. We want to collaborate to make this happen. We need new infrastructure, something transparent, something ownable, feasible, accessible, financially sustainable, where we can share the value we create, something for the community, something that's ours. It's not mine. It's not yours. It's definitely not theirs. It's ours. This is Creative Collection. We have the tools. We have the moment. And we have the power. We can take on humanity's greatest endeavors. We could build cities, and we can create so much more. Are you getting it? And then let's go to their Twitter feed here. Zora.co. And yeah, they're doing an NFT drop right now. You can mint their NFT for free. Gas this morning costed me like $13 or something, so it wasn't very expensive at all. Yes, it is on the Ethereum blockchain. But yeah, that's going to be shutting down in about 9 hours or so, 8 or 9 hours. And I'm broadcasting now at 8:10 a.m. in the morning on Central Standard Time. So yeah, Zora, decentralized marketplace protocol, the open protocol to buy, sell, and curate NFTs on Ethereum. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just kind of winged it, wung it. This morning, and I read some things that kind of piqued my interest and some of my Twitter bookmarks, and yeah, that's basically it. My time's up. I've gone over time again, but 10 predictions in Web3 in 2022. That's basically it. All right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Later. Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.